14, use the Pythagorean theorem round to the nearest tenth. So the Pythagorean theorem, if you've watched any of these videos for number 14, it's a theorem that says with a right triangle, okay, so here we have a right triangle. With a right triangle, the length of A, so we'll say this is A, this is B, and here's C. I know it's labeled D, but with our formula, with our Pythagorean theorem, they're labeled A and B and C. C is always the longest side. A and B are the legs touching this 90-degree right angle, okay? So we have the formula that says A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And what this means is if I have A, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and I turn that into a square. So I'll get green for A. Okay, so A will be green. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I turn A into a square that's 4 by 4. Okay, here's A as a square. And I'll get blue for B. Blue, 1, 2, B is 3. So plus B as a square. Okay, A squared plus B squared is going to be equal to whatever C as a square is. Okay, so the amount of area in A and B added together here in C, okay, if we took whatever the area is here and whatever the area is here, it's going to be the same area as right here. So let's check this out. We've got A, we decided A was 4 to the second power plus 3 to the second power is going to equal to whatever C, in this case D, to the second power is, okay? And because they called it D, I'm just going to rewrite this as D, okay? So when we get our final answer, we just remember that this is D. All right, 4 to the second power, that means 4 times 4. So how many little squares are in this area? That's 4, 8, 12, 16. 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 3 is 9 equals D squared. So whatever D is as a square, 16 plus 9 is 25 equals D as a square. In order to figure out what this D is without this exponent, we got to use an inverse operation to get rid of this exponent. And that inverse operation is the square root. Okay, when you do the square root of a number, you find out, well, what times itself makes that number that's underneath this square root radical symbol. Okay, so what number times itself makes 25? Well, that'll be 5, and also negative 5. Okay, so it's 5 and negative 5. That equals, well, D times D is D squared, so equals D. Okay, so the square root and this exponent, you get rid of each other. I know 5 times 5 is 25. I also know negative 5 times negative 5 is 25. But if we're looking to find out how long is D, it doesn't really make sense that it'd be negative because it's the length of a shape. Okay, so it's going to be 5, and we need to label 5 units. Okay, so our answer here would be 5.